Watch your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond. Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn. Turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed. Need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick. Gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. Icy ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the heat. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the.
Just 11 days ago, the Hillsdale Falcons were still in football mode competing for a state title. Now, without any scrimmages and just a handful of practices, the season has quickly shifted to the hardwood as the Falcon season tips off tonight against the Loudonville Redbirds. It's all coming your way live and free on the OH Report.
Kitchen Supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Yippee! Win myself titles, cut down nets with my fans. Back to the basket. And another thing. Well, looks like I'm not going to Hollywood after all.
Think it's time to wake 'em up. They've been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time.
Welcome into our Bendon pregame show here from Hillsdale. The Falcons getting ready to tip off their season tonight, game number 1. Andy Jardy alongside Jonathon Langdon tonight. Oliver Kramer on camera. Jonathan, haven't had much time to think about this at Hillsdale. It is a quick turnaround, obviously going in for a state title in football just 11 days ago, and now quickly the attention shifts to the hardwood, and they've got a Loudonville team coming in here tonight, trying to get off the schneid a little bit. 3-game losing streak. Should be a good game.
Yeah, and you got to think that Loudonville is going to try and capitalize on this opportunity. Some of these Falcons players are still in football mode, and Loudonville, they've been, as you said, struggling a little bit to start the season, but this is their chance. If there's ever a chance, time to take on Hillsdale, it's right now.
Yeah, catch them while they're still getting their feet underneath them, as we'll take a look at our team spotlight on the Loudonville Redbirds coming into this one 1-3, 0-2 in KMAC play, trying to snap that 3-game losing streak under head coach Tim Bradford, coming in scoring just over 46 points a game, but the defense has been worrisome, giving up a lot of points here the last couple games.
Yeah, they played against Cardington on Saturday last week, and they got blitzed on that one for sure, 76-34, and most of that, when I talked to Coach Tim Bradford, was mainly that Loudonville, they weren't getting back on defense. Cardington was able to just lob it over top and get some easy layups in transition. They had 45 points in the paint against Loudonville in that game. So that is something that Coach Bradford has addressed, and he hopes will be fixed by the time we tip off here today.
Yeah, pace is going to be a big factor in this one. Hillsdale wants to get out and run. How Loudonville will be able to contain that will go a long way here tonight if they are able to get it done. One player that they're going to look at, Judah Layton, one of 3 captains on the team. He has been a dominant force for the Redbirds, scoring over 20, 8 rebounds a game, and just under a block a game. All leads the team for Judah Layton.
Yeah, and this is a guy that has had a lot of scoring responsibility in these last couple of years, and it's all coming to fruition here today. As a captain in his senior year, he's going to have a great opportunity to score even more. Not a lot of offensive weapons on this Loudonville team. They really rely on Judah Layton. Also, Dylan Wade is another piece to keep an eye out for. So all of them are going to be big pieces to try and take down Hillsdale here today as you see them warming up out on the court.
Yeah, and his numbers too, the points per game and the rebounds, second best in the KMAC respectively. If they can get a third scorer going for Loudonville, I think the season could turn around for them very quickly. For Hillsdale tonight, game number 1 for the Falcons in the Wayne County Athletic League under head coach Ben Ferguson in his second season. What a year it was for year number 1. 18 wins, 4th most in school history, and the most since 2010.
Yeah, and they're behind for sure. You see all those scores right there. There's no score. It's PPD for the last 3 games, maybe even some more before that. But them just getting their feet under them on the hardwood at least, they're going to have a good chance here today against an opponent that you like to see to start the year, someone that's kind of struggling. And then also this team can jump out the gym with nearly everyone on the roster.
Yeah, 7 of the 10 on the roster were on the football team. And one of the big fellas back his senior season, Bradey Krichbaum, 15 points per game last season, 12 rebounds a game. He was a walking double-double last season for the Falcons. And he looks to, once again, just continue to add to his impressive career.
Yeah, I talked about his football, offensive lineman, all-state, defensive lineman, all-state. This guy, just a specimen of a human being, and we're going to see what he does on the basketball court here today. He was actually just honored out on the court a few moments ago because he broke the all-time, as you see on your screen, all-time rebounding record.
We'll have the tip-off coming up for you just on the other side of the anthem. Stick around. We'll have it for you here on the OH Report.
Think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's I'm a giant, they can't move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it.
Back here with your Bendon pregame show from Hillsdale, getting set for tip-off as the starting lineup's just about set here as they're getting ready to take the court. Andy Jardy alongside Jonathon Langdon. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday evening, an unseasonably warm Tuesday evening, I might add. Much prefer the drive down here when it's warm and not snowy.
And it was beautiful today as well. All the sun just setting right around when we both got here.
Absolutely.
And just the weather has been fantastic. So, and these two teams are looking to heat it up on the court here tonight.
That they are. It's a very festive crowd here tonight at Hillsdale, all in their Christmas attire. As we take a look at our keys to the game for Loudonville, trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. I think they got to create some chaos here tonight. Take advantage of Hillsdale not having much time to get ready for this game with the late football season. Do whatever you can to make this thing as ugly as possible and force a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and then you also want to see that third scorer emerge for Loudonville. You've got Judah Layton, obviously, is going to get you some points. Dylan Wade wears number 5 in red when you see him out on the court here. He's going to give Hillsdale a couple of problems defensively. And then also number 4, Bradey Krichbaum. That's another name that you want to see start to hit the score column a little bit more here today and kind of help that offensive output out.
Yeah, Gessner is the third captain for the Redbirds. On the Hillsdale side of things, push the pace. They want to get out and run, and if they can, we saw it in the JV game, they were able to run all over Loudonville. The JV team won 61-20. And I also think just play. Don't even think about it. Just get out there. Haven't had much time to prepare for this. Just go out and do your thing and just play and don't think.
And also have fun, because this is a good opportunity for you guys to go out, get a win in front of your home crowd, and just don't overthink things. Just like you're saying, Andy, just play.
That has been our Bendon pregame show. Tip-off coming your way right now as the Falcons season gets underway. And they will control the opening tip. Krichbaum knocking it out to Cale Lewis.
Yeah, Loudonville knew they were going to lose the tip there, so they went with D. Wade, and they tried to get him to go get the tip.
3 right there, in and out. Redbirds coming away with it. Gessner with the board. And fighting underneath and coming away with it is Lowen Ferguson, and he's going to pick up a foul on Loudonville as well.
Yeah, depending on who that was, we're going to be a little worried if you're a Loudonville fan, because Layton was in the area. That's not someone you want to see get in early foul trouble, but it did end up going on number 5, Elliott Strauss.
Strauss, the sophomore guard, picking up the first foul. Both teams empty possessions on their opening trip. Krichbaum, the turnaround, bounces around and in for the first points of the season.
Yeah, so Loudonville's going to play a 2-3, keep it away from Krichbaum's hands, but the way he's positioning himself at this point in time, it's going to be very hard to do so when he's just right in the middle of the paint like he was there.
He has got such a size advantage down inside. Redbirds looking for their first points. They drive into the paint, and it's good. Dylan Wade ties it up at 2.
And if you can, go blow for blow with these Hillsdale Falcons. Just keep it close here in the first quarter, and you can build on that momentum into the second.
Bennett from the top looks to get the offense going. He gets it back. 3 ball from the outside is a little short, bounces around. Gessner pulls down his second board.
Gessner's kind of the playmaker for this team. He's looking around, doesn't see much, and just goes to Layton.
Layton pulls up from deep. Unable to get it. You could see that pace that Hillsdale trying to play with there. And did he step out of bounds, or did we get a foul called here?
There's a foul call, it looks like, and that's the second on Strauss. Let's take a look at that basket from D. Wade, brought to you by Mechanics Bank. Just able to get to the middle, floated up and in. Hillsdale will keep the basketball here after the foul.
And 2 fouls already on Elliott Strauss. He'll have to go to the bench. Lewis will inbound. At least try to inbound. There he does get it into Krichbaum. And left open for 3. It is good. Hayden McFadden.
Yeah, Hayden McFadden, you don't want to see him out on the football field. You also don't want to see him out at the 3-point line. Makes Loudonville pay right there.
The only time you want to see him is if he's on your team. And here's a turnover the other way. Ferguson picking pockets. McFadden drives in, spins up, and oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Hayden McFadden.
He did not need any glass, just threw that way up in the air, and it fell through the threads.
McFadden, 5 quick points, pushes it out to a 5-point lead. Loudonville tries to answer. 3 ball no good, but the nice putback from J.J. Williams.
And he's in early to this game after Strauss got 2 early fouls, so good contribution from him so far.
Ferguson gets behind his defender, floats one up, it's no good. And I think we're going to have an over-the-back call here against Cale Lewis.
And that they will. So Hillsdale, they've got an exciting player in Lowen Ferguson, just a freshman, and with the late start to their season, this is his high school debut, mind you. And playing pretty well, facilitating, dribbling the ball, just not committing turnovers. Want to see that continue for such a solid freshman. He's short out there, too. Even got the start.
Yeah. Chance to tie it right here. A little short on that 3. And Krichbaum almost in football mode, almost snapped that basketball there. But he does come down with the board. And he gets it back. Fights his way between the defenders, and he's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
5-point lead for Hillsdale, and you just see the impact that Ferguson has with his speed, also finding this big fella.
3 is up, and it is no good. Krichbaum pulls down the board.
Loudonville considers themselves an offensive team. It's just where defensively that's where you start to struggle, but you cannot have lulls like this.
Bennett, the mid-range jumper, his first points of the season. Largest lead of the night now. Wade tries to counter on the other end, and he's going to draw the foul. That will go against Bennett.
Good crossover move, just able to get past, and Bennett has to play catch-up. Throws some contact in there, and D. Wade's at the line.
Wade at the line. 16.7 points per game this season. 2nd best on the team, 6th best in the KMAC. First one is good.
So he sees his first bucket fall through. Actually, no, he had a field goal earlier, but anytime you can get to the free throw line and see some go down, that will definitely help you. He's chucked up a couple threes, not been able to fall from there.
And he gets the friendly roll on the road. Cuts it back to 5, just over 4 to play here in the opening quarter. Bennett from 3, he's feeling it.
And this is a scary look if you're Loudonville, because you wanted to try and keep up with them with their offense, but they're really doing well, Hillsdale, knocking down some jumpers.
Yeah, they've been able to start to make their outside shots, and we talked about Loudonville needing to create chaos. Well, Hillsdale is creating chaos right now, forcing all sorts of turnovers.
Yeah, and there's the freshman again, Ferguson, staying right up on the senior Gessner and forcing a turnover.
Another 3 ball from the outside, and it is raining threes. Dylan Fickus.
And this is what Coach Bradford was precisely worried about. Were those wings going to be a little bit too open to run a 2-3 zone. They've hit a couple of threes from that very spot.
They've hit 3 threes here in the opening quarter and have pushed this thing out to a 17-6 lead. 3:41 to go here in the opening quarter.
So Loudonville, they're going to want to talk things over, want to make sure you're getting out and at least contesting those shots. I know that in the 2-3 you're worried about Krichbaum kind of crowding the paint, but you cannot be lazy on your closeouts. Get out there, make it a little more difficult. Most of these threes that the Falcons are hitting, I would say, are open to wide open.
Yeah, they've been high percentage shots, and you're seeing that pay off here with this lead. Coach Ferguson mentioning that they are looking to run at every opportunity. And you can see that style of play already here in the opening quarter. That one tipped away, and here come the Falcons once again, pushing the pace. Knox Lewis gets it back up. Cale Lewis will reset. Now a three is a little too strong there from Holland Young, but keeping the possession alive was Knox Lewis. Lewis feeds it inside. And another open three. And this one unable to go, but crashing and almost able to put it back in was Holland Young.
Yeah, Gessner did a good job boxing out. He just didn't have any help from fellow Redbirds to go crash for that rebound.
Gessner pulls down his third rebound, but it's another turnover here, already 4 turnovers.
And McFadden checks back into the ball game, so going to get solid rest for some of your starters. One of them being McFadden, who had it earlier, is now back in the game. Off to the bench, Bennett goes.
Well, that's going to be one of the interesting things to watch here early on in the season for Hillsdale is how are these kids conditioned after playing into the football season so late? How do you manage their minutes here?
And how much depth do they have as well? We've seen a couple of players come in and play pretty well off the bench.
That three no good. Young able to track down the board. Feeds it inside. Lewis between defenders gets his own board. Kick out, another open three. This one no good. And Judah Layton comes down with the board.
He draws the foul as well, so we'll take a look at this stretch. Simply, it's a height disadvantage today, obviously, for Loudonville. Coach Bradford, he was aware of that. He said that the 2-3 is going to help him with it a little bit, but when you kind of stay in place on those zones and you're not going for the basketball on the missed shots, that's where Hillsdale's able to come in with their momentum from the perimeter and haul in a bunch of these rebounds.
Gessner, nice feed inside, rejected though by Fickus. And now it's McFadden laying it in.
Really acrobatic layup. Great to see that from McFadden.
Gessner kicks it out. Wade open for three in front of the students. Drains it.
And you need Dylan Wade to start hitting threes. That's a solid one there. Loudonville down 10. Defensively, they need a stop.
McFadden, little out of control there, and he's going to pick up the offensive foul.
Get a second look at this. Good job drawing the charge by Dylan Wade. Went right into his right shoulder. He took the contact and took it to the deck.
You never want to make that pass when you leave your feet either. Usually only bad things happen, and right there just kind of got caught in between there. Picks up the foul.
And Loudonville certainly saw that he's going to fly high for some of these layups. Oh, and there's a turnover in the backcourt. Do not like to see that.
Falcons applying some pressure there with the full court press, though. Creating chaos. Minute 15 to go here. There doesn't seem to be any rust so far for Hillsdale.
For sure.
They've come out and pushed their pace, and there's a nice backdoor cut for two. Holland Young scoring.
And they're so well coached, too. Just look at this play. Backdoor cut, beautifully designed. And J.J. Williams simply wasn't ready.
Judah Layton drives in, and he is going to go to the line to shoot two. He's still looking for his first points.
And he'll likely get them here at the stripe. So Judah Layton, he's been struggling so far offensively, and that's probably the reason you're down 12 right now. And again, I'll say it, Loudonville, their defense isn't widely regarded as necessarily great. It's their offense that keeps them in a good amount of their games. And Layton with just 1 point with 56 seconds to go in the first, that's a rarity.
67% free throw shooter on the year. He makes them both. And the Redbirds a perfect 4 of 4 from the line here so far tonight. Gets it back to a 10-point game. Just under a minute to go. Here's another three from the outside. Lowen Ferguson gets in on the scoring.
And shout out to Lowen Ferguson. There's your first career points as a Falcon.
Redbirds trying to answer. No good. Ferguson pulling down the board. And that one knocked away.
Here's a shot from Ferguson in the corner. Remember that score 4 years from now.
These are just confident shots, too. Like, they feel like it's going to go in every time they're pulling up. Here's another one.
That's probably the best looking rebound we've seen from Loudonville today. Two players did a good job boxing out, as Layton, I think, got blocked here.
And he's going to get, I thought it was tipped too. He's going to get fouled. Now, just a altered shot there, not blocked, but he is going to go to the line and shoot three.
And if you're the Falcons, you can't give Loudonville free throws like this. We've seen Redbirds have done a good job getting to the line. Now, making them, you want to make sure you make them. They've done a good job at that so far, as Layton knocks down the first.
That was the second foul on Troy Bennett. A little too strong there from Layton.
Coach Ferguson not making any sort of effort to sub out Troy Bennett, so he's going to play with two fouls here.
Third free throw is no good. Holland Young pulls down his second rebound. 10 seconds to go. Time enough probably for one more shot here. And it's a three, and it's a little too strong. Knocked away, but he's going to get another look. Floats it up at the buzzer. In and out, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. Hillsdale controlling the tempo, pushing the pace. They lead 24-12.
Think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing this.
Second quarter just about set to get underway here. Andy Jardy alongside Jonathon Langdon here on this Tuesday, the week before Christmas Eve. How is that even possible?
Yeah, especially with the weather we saw outside. We already brought up the weather, but 46 today, and we're getting close to Christmas, as you said.
There's a nice cut from Gessner. He gets his first points of the night. Trying to keep pace with these Falcons. Another acrobatic move inside there. In a little too out of control. Gessner pulling down the board. Redbirds with a little bit of pace here. Layton from the outside. In and out, knocked around, and it is going to stay here with Loudonville.
Yeah, so good job inside, trying to fight for the rebound, just not able to hold on to it. Brayson Youngin, one of the sophomores for this team. Fortunately, it goes off of Falcon. They'll keep possession.
Gessner inbounds. They get it back to Wade. Three from up top is a little short there from Caden Cabral. Bennett playing with those two fouls, and he loses it out of bounds. It'll go over to Loudonville. Good defense.
Yeah, Cabral got in there, was able to force it out, and it went, obviously, since we're going the Redbirds' way, you saw it went off the body of Bennett.
And another turnover here. They had 5 in the first quarter. There's one to start. Following the missed shot there, Kale Lewis's first points.
There's another sophomore, of course, the quarterback for the football team that just went to state, but on the basketball court, he's going to be a big piece to what they do soon.
And another costly turnover. Lewis on the other end lays it up. You just can't do that against this team.
Falcons have doubled the score of the Redbirds. They almost turned it over again.
Hillsdale just quicker to the ball right now. These passes just not getting there quick enough. Judah for 3, can't get it, gets his own miss, spins around and gets the bucket to go. He'll try and make the 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that's probably the best basket they've had here today, and it's not come from the three-point line. So that tells you what Loudonville needs to do a little bit more of. Just be aggressive towards Krichbaum. Don't let him establish himself defensively. We know how good of a player he is, but you don't want to shy away from him just because of that. Really go strong into the basket, force some fouls, and get this score to start going your way.
Layton makes it. 4 of 6 from the line.
And to talk about Krichbaum, he was our player spotlight today. He's only got 4 points. It's been a very well-rounded effort from the Falcons.
Yeah, they just have so many different guys that can get the job done for them. There's Troy Bennett. He's up to 7 points.
And I think the problem for Loudonville is they like to play this fast. It's just the fact that Hillsdale's knocking down more shots, and as fast as they're going, it just keeps slowly getting out of this game starts slowly running away from them.
Nice defense there on the other end. Looked like it was going to be an easy layup for Troy Bennett. Layton had other thoughts.
And honestly, from our angle, that I thought Loudonville was able to get that off of Hillsdale, but it
I
does
did
stay
too.
with the Falcons.
Yeah, I thought it went off of him as well. Bennett with the shot fake, drives into the paint. Now he kicks it out. Holland Young drives in, little Euro step off the glass. Krichbaum just fighting for the board. He goes up underneath, and he gets the bucket to go. He just wanted it more.
Yeah, and he took it away from his own teammate to get another basket. So
He sure did.
Krichbaum starting to get himself established.
Here's an open 3 from the outside, no good.
So stay with Loudonville on close to the corner, far side. But Hillsdale 32, Loudonville 17. Falcons doing a good job making shots.
Yeah, and Loudonville trying to get back into this, and what a play there by the quarterback, Kale Lewis, going out of bounds, throws it off Judah Layton, and it's going to be Falcon ball. They feed inside. Now they go back out. Corner 3 is up and a little too strong. But who else? Krichbaum there with the board. Fights his way between the defenders. He gets his own miss, puts it up, count the bucket. Oh, Bradey Krichbaum, what can't you do?
Well, what he can't do is not be 6'6". He is a big guy, and he just went right up over his defender, not once, but twice for those offensive rebounds. And, I mean, shoot, why not? You've got the height advantage, and you're still able to get some buckets. Good job by him. He's going to have a great season, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And I think it's exciting for Hillsdale because they've played well, and you don't want to overreact. But if you are new to what the OHSAA has done this year, they've expanded divisions, not only in football but in basketball as well. And you've got a much better chance to go deeper in the postseason. And there's no reason to say Hillsdale can't do that with the way they're playing here tonight.
Yeah, I'll have to see how it all shakes out once we get to tournament play, but I think I'm a fan of them expanding these divisions to give some of these teams, I think, more of a chance to clinch a state title, obviously, with now 7 divisions as they go inside. Krichbaum, spin cycle, gets it to go. He's taken over here. 7 points in this quarter alone. He's up to 11.
And realistically, what you just saw right there, again, thanks to Mechanics Bank, they could do all game long if they really wanted to. It's just bread and butter for Krichbaum down low, especially against a smaller Judah Layton.
Desperation 3 there, no good. Krichbaum pulls down his 6th rebound. He is trending towards a double-double. Here's a 3 from Bennett that's no good. Gessner gets his 5th board. I think Krichbaum heard us talking about how he hadn't really been much of a factor there in that first quarter.
I mean, we are very close to the court here in this gym, so that's very much a possibility as we see Dylan Wade commit the travel.
Another turnover, the 10th one from the Redbirds already here in this first half.
And then kind of just to analyze that, Wade jumped up in the air without knowing where he was going with the basketball. I think he wanted to try and hit up Gessner, but Gessner was running away, maybe to set an off-ball screen. Just miscommunication.
That 3-2 strong, but maybe it was a pass to Krichbaum. He gets the rebound, and he's going back to the line for an and one opportunity.
Feels like just about 2 or 3 minutes ago I was talking about he only has 4 points. Well, folks, he's got 13 now, and he could make it 14 with this free throw.
Yeah, he has come alive here in this second quarter. And it's just, I mean, obviously he's got the height advantage, but he's also just in the right place.
And he does a good job when he catches the basketball on any sort of rebound. He keeps it up more towards his face, doesn't bring it down to where the guards can poke it away. That's what I was always taught in high school, and he does it to a T.
And he does a great job too. He's got the touch to just lay those up too. Sometimes you see a kid get that board and he's a little out of control, throwing it up off the glass too aggressively.
So like me 5 years ago.
Sure. But yeah,
I'll have to show you some tape.
I can't wait. We'll have to break it down. You were telling me how you were playing with some of the Loudonville kids, at least on the JV squad, right?
Yeah, so my roommate is Jacob. He's the all-time leading scorer. Or I think technically he's not, but it was because of like a merger 30 years ago.
Bryson Youngin, gets a much-needed 3 for Loudonville.
But yeah, when Loudonville and Perrysville were separate schools, they were there was a guy there that played for both Perrysville and then when they merged to Loudonville. But Jacob graduated 4 years ago, and he's their technical all-time leading scorer. But anyway, his brother, obviously, Brady's still playing out here, and I get a chance to practice with them every so often and get to do some good stuff, give them some solid competition to go up against. But right now, Hillsdale's looking much better than what me and some of my ragtag college teammates could have done to help them practice last year.
I would say that they could go up against a couple of college kids and have this kind of performance.
And you typically see that, especially in the Christmas break. See a bunch of alumni come back and practice against the current team. So it's pretty normal.
Boy, great vision there, and look at the transition offense there. Ferguson pulled down the board. Great vision to get it up to McFadden. I think McFadden thought about how he was going to score before he really came down with that.
Yeah, McFadden's thinking, should I dunk this right now? Because he's got the hops to do it. Obviously, a wide receiver on that state football team. He knows how to jump out the gym. Probably the highest leaper on this roster, I would say.
Yeah, that's a 5-second violation there. Just couldn't get the ball inbounded. A little too slow developing of a play, but at some point you just got to throw it in there.
Well, I think it did develop. Lowen Ferguson was open. I think the inbounder just hesitated to give him the basketball.
2 minutes to go here until halftime. It's been all Hillsdale tonight in their first game of the season. And this one poked away, but then it ends up into the hands of the big fella underneath. Jacob Poole got the start for the JV team tonight, scored the first points of that game.
And it's really tough because on that one play you saw Gessner get it ripped away by Ferguson. It's tough when you're playing against someone else guarding you that's much shorter because they can kind of sneak under you and poke it away. Very similar to what I was talking about with Krichbaum on the other end, keeping his rebounds up high in the air to keep it away from the guards. Gessner kind of fell victim to that. He was able to recover and get it to Jacob Poole, who's here shooting too, and he made the first.
Poole's second one a little short and knocked away, and McFadden pulling down the board. Ferguson pushing that pace a little too strong. Gets his own miss, though, and he kicks it back outside. Bennett for 3, no good. Tipped around. Boy, the second and third chance opportunities deep from Ferguson. It doesn't matter.
And that play right there for Loudonville will probably be looped in their film session 3 or 4 times. 2 offensive rebounds. You let Hayden McFadden jump in there and basically volleyball spike it to his teammate out on the perimeter, and they're able to get a 3 off of it. That is a big momentum shifter if the momentum wasn't already shifted.
Little too strong there. Poole unable to come down with what should have been an easy layup. And then on the other end, it is an easy layup for Knox Lewis, his first points of the night.
The lead is now up to 27, Andy, and we've got just about a minute to play.
Spinning around and getting the bucket to fall there, Brady Gessner. Just over 30 seconds to go until halftime. The feed inside. Bennett gets it swatted away by Poole, but he's going to pick up the foul. At least I think it's going on Poole.
Take a look at this play again. Yeah, they'll pick it up on Poole. I don't know. I feel like if that was a foul, I thought they were going to call it on number 10 down there. That would have been Youngin, and that would have been his third foul. So I guess fortunate enough for Youngin that he doesn't get that foul, but I thought it probably should have gone on him.
Bennett making his first trip to the line, makes the first. Up to 8 points.
Pardon me, I'm looking at the Falcons side of the scoreboard. That would have just been Youngin's first.
50 points here in the opening half, the opening game for this Hillsdale Falcons team. Looking to make some noise in the Wayne County Athletic League this year. They expect to be up there at the top. You can see why here tonight. It is all on display. The amount of talent they have as this one is swatted away. Layton pulls up from the Falcon logo. Can't get it to go. Chasing it down though. Nice effort there to keep the possession alive. And 5 seconds to go. They're going to have to get a shot off here. From the corner, one. Oh, and he stepped out of bounds. So an empty possession there after they did such a great job keeping that possession alive. Just nobody really wanted to shoot it.
Well, Wade was begging for the ball much earlier than he got it. And that ended up causing him to fumble it a little bit, go out of bounds. And then you saw the latter part of that heave that didn't go. So halftime we go.
Halftime we go. Hillsdale leads 50-23. We'll break it down for you here at halftime coming up after this.
Home and kitchen supply. We're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Yippee! Win my subtitles, cut down nets with my fans. Back to the basket. And another thing. Well, looks like I'm not going to Hollywood after all.
sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, but you know we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can't move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. Yeah, the first step is showing up, hear them cheer. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. We're blowing up, hear them cheer. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. Ruthless, ruthless. Give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
It's our Bendon halftime show here from Hillsdale tonight, where the Falcons have doubled up the Redbirds, 50-23, more than doubled up the Redbirds, I should say. Andy Jardy alongside Jonathon Langdon. Thanks for staying here with us on this Tuesday evening as we'll take a look at some of those numbers here. Oh wait, actually we got Grinch. The Grinch is about to shoot a 3.
I gotta say, I'm liking the Christmas sweaters out of some of these students in the student section,
Yeah.
but the Grinch has it won today.
Absolutely, full costume, or maybe it's not a costume. Maybe it's actually the Grinch. It could be. We'll see.
Well,
What do you think? Is he gonna make it?
I think we'll find out depending on his basketball skills.
Oh, there it is. No, not happening. Boy, all that. We were so excited for
It's
that.
a fake. It's a fake.
It's not the real Grinch. If the real Grinch would have made it.
Yeah,
no,
you're
no,
right.
no question. Halftime numbers here for you, as it's been all Hillsdale, 50-23. They have just played at a pace that Loudonville has not been able to keep up with, and they've taken high percentage shots, really connecting from beyond the arc.
Yeah, those numbers are very lopsided, I would say. Just Redbirds have been cold shooting the basketball. They've been able to get to the line. That's probably the one positive thing you can draw out of their offensive contributions today, going 7 of 10 from the stripe. But even at that, Hillsdale, they haven't gotten there often, but they've succeeded when they've gotten there, 4 for 4. And then also turnovers have stacked up. 11 isn't a great number, but compared to some of the other games I've seen from early season jitters from some of these teams in the local areas, that's not horrible, but Hillsdale's just executing on a different level right now.
Yeah, they really are, and they've just been able to get it's just been easier in every aspect for them. Everything Loudonville has tried to do has been difficult, and Hillsdale's been able to just kind of have their way with them and do what they've wanted to. So we'll see if the Redbirds can make the necessary adjustments in the second half. We'll have it for you coming up on the other side of the break.
Home and kitchen supply. We're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Second half just about set to get underway. Hillsdale leads 50-23. Taking a look at some of the individual numbers here for you for Loudonville. Dylan Wade with 7 points, all of them coming in that first quarter. J.J. Williams had 2. Bradey Gessner with 4. Brayson Youngin 3. Judah Layton, who comes in averaging over 20 a game, held in check with just 6 points. 4 of those coming from the free throw line. Jacob Poole connected on a free throw for Loudonville as well. Bradey Krichbaum leading the way for the Falcons. He had 14, 10 of them in the second quarter.
See if Hillsdale can keep their foot on the pedal.
They're just keeping every possession alive. Feed inside, Krichbaum gets around Poole, lays it up and in.
And one of those moves that can be very deadly if you're a 6'6" big man and you can hit it efficiently as the reverse layup. Use the rim to your advantage. Keep your defender away using the cylinder.
I think that one got tipped. Poole comes down with the board, but Krichbaum forces the jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it, though, here with the Redbirds.
Yeah, I think Poole knew he was going to get blocked if he let go of that basketball, so he kind of just jumped up with it. Unfortunately, Krichbaum had his hand on it, so that all technically is a jump ball.
And almost a turnover the other way. 3 ball from the corner is up, and it is good. J.J. Williams.
He only hit 2 threes in the first half, so good to see one fall early.
And on the other end, it's Hayden McFadden answering.
Not good to see that, of course, if you're a Loudonville fan.
Yeah, the only way they're going to find a way to get back into this thing is you got to get stops. You can't trade threes for threes, especially, too, as there's another turnover. Another 3 goes up, and that one too strong. Gessner pulls down his 6th rebound of the night. And it's just off the hands of Williams. They turn it right back over.
Yeah, so Gessner trying to fit that in a tight window. 2 Falcons were close by, and him having to pass it away from Williams resulted in him not handling it right, and it just went straight out of bounds.
Redbirds in that 2-3 zone. Krichbaum gets it back outside for another three, and it's in. Lowen Ferguson.
A star in the making, folks. He has looked really good in his high school debut. He's got 9 points. That's not too bad.
Yeah, he looks anything but a freshman, as it's another turnover the other way, and laying it up and laying it in is Troy Bennett.
Now it's a 34-point game. We're getting close to that running clock territory.
Yeah, once it, as I did the research as it happened during the JV game, I thought we had a clock malfunction. I have not done a game where that has come into play. But they adopted that rule a couple seasons ago, 35 or more in the second half, as quarterback put a little too much on that one, throws it incomplete.
Hey, it's better to overthrow it in football than to underthrow it, but basketball, it's a different story. He's still getting used to that.
He's still getting used to it, absolutely.
I've learned that playing the new College Football 25 game. I'm not a football player, but I know a couple of things.
That's just knocked away, and it's another turnover. 4 turnovers here already in the third quarter. They had 11 in the first half. Another three from the freshman is good. Lowen Ferguson. That's his 4th triple of the night.
And in a 37-point game now, he's got the green light to kind of figure some things out, start scoring, and get yourself established into this high school game. And that's exactly what he's done.
Layton, too strong. Knocked away. Coming down with it is Wade. Another three, and they're just not there, but Layton rebounds, spins, throws it up. Too strong.
And 2 threes and a contested 2, not the greatest possession.
There's a mid-range jumper that falls for Holland Young.
So everything's coming much easier for Hillsdale, and obviously you got the home court advantage, but Loudonville, you got to look at some things you're running offensively, and maybe at this point, you know you're down, you're just trying to get some shots up, and they're getting forced now.
Can he hit his 5th triple of the night? He can! Oh my goodness, the freshman can't be stopped.
Lowen Ferguson, have a night in your first night.
He is feeling it. You can see it with the way that he gets it, squares up and shoots, and there's a nice answer from Dylan Wade.
I would not be shocked at all if he goes up again.
Absolutely.
Wade's giving him plenty of space.
He's getting open. He's open again. He shoots again, and he misses.
Not again.
Not again. And there's a nice rebound by Krichbaum and a feed to Holland Young. Timeout, Loudonville. And
this is where the score starts to look a little funky. 70-29. What a start here to the second half. This is a 20-6 run to start the third.
Yeah, it's incredible. I look up and they have 70 points. I know I'm keeping a book here as we're going, and I'm just adding. I'm running out of room here for these Hillsdale Falcons because they have just been able to do whatever they have wanted to tonight. 70 points, and we're still in the third quarter. But we will have a running clock situation.
Yeah, so other than timeouts, everything else the clock will run. So free throws. I saw the JV game end today on one of the guys shooting 3 free throws, I believe. Well, he was supposed to shoot 2, but they gave him 3. I don't remember what the reason was. I think it might have been a lane violation, but that free throw sequence took 50 seconds alone.
Yeah.
Could see something similar happen here.
And it can't end like before the free throw goes up. We learned that.
You still get your free throws.
You still get the free throw. Those still have to happen even if the clock hits 0. Boy, they almost just turned it over, bringing it up right there. They were almost not both over on the other side of the court, but they turn it over anyway. And that's tough for Coach Bradford out of the timeout.
In fact, the player that shot those free throws in the JV game is Dylan Hammett, and he's in the game.
Count the bucket there from Troy Bennett. He will go to the line to try and make it a 3-point play. Thought maybe it was going to be an offensive foul, but
this will definitely be a game to forget for Elliott Strauss. 0 points, 4 fouls.
How did Knox Lewis come down with that rebound, and it's laid up by Bennett?
Well, Falcon Nation, if you weren't excited about your team coming into this game, you can get excited now.
There it is off the glass from Williams. He's up to 7. And that one initially was going to look like it was going to go off of Hillsdale, but then the fell kind of off Layton's leg. And
took a wicked spin.
It did.
Right onto Layton's calf.
Running clock in effect. Bennett, a little too strong there.
And there's Dylan Hammett. That was the guy I was talking about earlier who shot the free throws in the JV game.
There's a deep 3. Gilliams.
That was Wade, I think.
That was Wade, excuse me.
Nice, easy inside pass. Knocks Lewis. Does the rest.
Wade up to 13 points for the Redbirds. That 3 short falls right to Layton. Layton goes up, and he is going to go to the line to shoot 2.
See, and that's the difference right there. Show you the replay brought to you by Mechanics Bank. The difference between a Judah Layton and a Bradey Krichbaum, who's obviously probably not going to play the rest of the game. Layton, as he catches the rebound, he comes down with the basketball and goes up for a putback. He's bailed out with a foul, but you don't want to see that. You want to just see him catch it and go straight up with it. That's something that will be taught. And because of that lapse, he misses the first free throw. He won't get a full 2 points out of this possession. Won't get any.
He can't make either one. Lewis pulls down his 4th board. Another wide open 3. Can't get that to fall. Layton drives along the baseline, and it's stolen away. And then he just, I think that's a frustration foul, if I've ever seen one. Just that's not been his night.
Jumps right in there. Clock continues to roll. Just a first team foul of the quarter for Loudonville.
There hasn't been a lot of whistles. It's been a lot of turnovers and transition buckets. 7 to shoot. Lewis for 3. He hits the 3. And that is how the third quarter is going to end as that one comes off the glass. 8 more to play here. Hillsdale, they ain't rusty, let me tell you. They've still got their legs after a late football season. It's been all Falcons tonight.
Home and kitchen supply. We're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Fourth quarter set to get underway here. All Falcons tonight. They lead 79-34. They've just continued to up their quarter scoring, each one. 24, 26, and now 29. As there's a layup there that is unable to go. Having a tough time trying to decide who we talk to at the end of this one, as Krichbaum now has 18 points after that bucket.
So he did come back into the game. I thought he was going to sit the rest of the way, but maybe a couple more minutes for him here tonight.
Well, that's the thing. Like this is their first game, so it's an interesting situation as to how you. Normally, I think you might see them sit, but they got to get their legs underneath them. A turnover the other way, and it's an easy bucket for Troy Bennett. Got a foul here. I think that's on the floor before he went up for the shot. 6:50 and counting here. And boy, they just can't even get this ball in. They barely get it in.
Trap in a corner.
And it's knocked away. Right into Layton's hands, going up for two. Can't get the shot to fall was Hammett. We saw him in the JV game too, just couldn't get a bucket to fall. He had good shots, just unlucky. Here's a three from the corner, little short. Chasing it down and getting his own miss though, Hayden McFadden. And
nice
a
lead.
nice pass over the head to Bradey Krichbaum. It's been that kind of night for Hillsdale.
Getting a little quiet over here. I'm trying to find some records because Hillsdale could very well get close to their points in a game record. But as I look on the Hillsdale Athletic website, it says school athletic records coming soon. So I'm not going to be able to take a look at those records here live.
I mean, this has been an impressive performance, no question about it. Krichbaum rebound, gets his own miss again, and he's going to go to the line. And I think he's going to get a technical.
He could take some time here to take a look at this a second time, but Krichbaum grabs it, gets fouled, and yeah, threw it right in the face of Layton. I don't know if he was even aiming at Layton. I thought he was if he was going to aim at anyone, I thought he was going to go for Hammett, but
so he'll shoot the free throws from the foul, and then I believe Loudonville will shoot two as well for the technical.
I feel like they're doing it out of order.
Well,
Misses
Krichbaum
both.
missed both.
Yep, and D-Wade will come and shoot for Loudonville.
Krichbaum officially now has a double-double. He pulled down rebounds 9 and 10 on those misses.
It's interesting how quickly this game got to this point.
Yeah.
Because that point brought them back within 50. And it'll keep them at 50.
Yeah, it's crazy. You would look up and say, oh, they got it back to 10. Oh, but it's to 20. Oh, they're down 35. We have a running clock.
Oh,
and
they're
now,
down 50.
And now they're down 50. It just has, it's been an avalanche. Out of control layup there doesn't go. Looking for three ball number 6, and he gets it. Lowen Ferguson, the freshman.
And you can't make any arguments against him being in the game because he's a freshman, still trying to get himself established, but he's already done so here today with 18 points. That leads the team.
I would think that has got to be a school record for a freshman, threes made in a game.
We'll find out soon. I'll have to ask the AD.
Strauss gets his first points of the night. It has been a tough night for him. I didn't even have time to look up before they scored again. Knox Lewis, though, gets it 90 points.
That's what was happening in the Cardington-Lincoln game as we see a foul here. But for Loudonville, getting back on defense, that's been a struggle for them this year. And we haven't seen it, I don't think, as much as they probably had it happen to them on Saturday. But still, obviously, the score looking this way, there had to be some sort of reason to that. And getting beat down the floor in any game is inexcusable. And even in a lopsided score like this, you want to still go out with some pride.
They are building something here at Hillsdale with this basketball program, too. They've had success at the lower levels, too. We saw the JV win big tonight. They've done it at the middle school level, too. There is a lot to be excited about if you're a Falcon basketball fan. And it all starts, you've got to continue to build it at the lower levels, and they've certainly started to do that.
And you're right, and it's not just basketball. I would say every single sport at Hillsdale is thriving at this point in time, and it definitely helps with the new facilities they've added, and also just the youth programs that have been set in place. They've really worked with Ashland High School. They've worked with the other areas to kind of work together to get their teams better, and we've seen that come to fruition in football with Ashland having such a good season along with Hillsdale.
Finding the high-flying Hayden McFadden.
And that felt like football all over again as I'm talking about it.
Yes. Left open for three. No good there was Brayson Youngin. And who else? I mean, Knox Lewis has piled up the boards here lately. He's got 8. There's an easy layup for Bennett. Timeout taken. 94-37.
Yeah, and Hillsdale right now, they're going for 100. You can tell. They've got players waiting back, trying to get easy layups. And once they do get to that 100 mark, I don't know if they know the record themselves. Do they keep going for that, or is it a case where they go for 100 and kind of stop from there and let this game end? 3:10 to go.
Well, that was interesting. I wasn't sure if we actually had a timeout or they just kind of gave them one to do that substitution, but there were 2 Loudonville players set to inbound, and the rest of the team was huddled up.
Well, the score hasn't gone their way, but shout out to the Spirit team over there, cheerleaders, and one of my favorite mascots in the area. We see it on our screen right now.
We were talking about that right before tip-off. Like, much respect for a school that has like an actual mascot in person, in full costume. It's a great mascot too.
Yeah, and another thing I like to do is kind of just rate my experiences, and one thing I need to start working on is rating some of the mascots I've seen in this area.
Yes.
Because that would be, I don't think I'm the only one that would be interested in that, and I'm sure my list would draw a ton of controversy as well with it. And, you know, controversy does well for clicks, so.
Absolutely. I would go so far as to make the Redbird mascot one of Andy's dandies.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely Lowe and Ferguson would fall into that category tonight.
Hillsdale's going to hate that I bring this up, but it's unfortunate we didn't get an Andy's Dandies with the final Marion local game of the year, because we heard so much about them.
Yes, I know.
From you all season long.
It just didn't work out. Adam Thompson, who does so much here at the OH Report, he had reached out to me about doing something for Marion local and for Hillsdale, and I didn't have the time. I couldn't come up with anything to send him.
Of course, that score is going to be something Hillsdale fans want to forget about, but just the progression they've made in their football program, and that's a very young team as well. They're going to be back.
Oh, yeah.
In some sort of capacity, they will be back, and they will be a problem. And then a ton of those guys that play on the football team, playing on this basketball team, they're all young.
Well, and what do you, I mean, you go up against arguably the greatest senior class in the history of Ohio high school football. Like, that only one team can win it. Obviously, they would have liked to have performed better, but like, that is the standard in Ohio high school football.
I wouldn't
at that
say
level.
That's the standard in Ohio high school. I'd say that's the standard in nationwide small town football.
Yeah. Speaking on experience, yes, I would agree. And knocked away. Holland Young for 3. That actually is that is still Holland Young, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a couple subs in there now. Some of the JV kids getting in.
There's an over-the-back foul.
Gage Barker was looking for his first points. See A.J. Brown in as well for Hillsdale. He had himself a game at the JV level tonight. I think he finished with 21 points.
Yeah.
He had 18 or 16 at halftime. He was single-handedly beating Loudonville score-wise.
And this is where we start to run into the free throws are going to drain this clock down.
Yeah.
And part of when I talked about Loudonville earlier, playing with pride, is you're not going to want to let them get to 100 points. And the way you do that is long possessions here towards the end, and also drawing fouls on the Falcons. They're at 5 team fouls, so you're shooting the rest of the way.
Layton connects. He had missed his last 2 free throws. Yeah, I still don't love the change to the free throw rule going to the NBA style. I don't care for it at this level.
Yeah, Coach Bailaw and I have talked about that a couple of times on our broadcast. He thinks it's all right. I'm sure he doesn't disagree to the capacity that you probably do, but it adds a unique aspect to the game. I'll say that.
Here's another 3 attempt. No good. You can tell they are just trying to hit those threes. They know what they need to get to 100. They might just be content, though, to kind of dribble this one out. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to.
Coach Ferguson pointed right towards the corner and said, go sit there and start dribbling.
And you know what? I like it. It's classy. It's not obviously what the student section wants over here. They want to see 100. Do you think they all get like free cafeteria meal or something if they hit 100? Is there
get
some
a free
sort of
lunch
in-game
meal.
promotion? Oh man, what a game here though for Hillsdale to tip off their season. Dominating win here tonight, 94-39. Stick around for our post-game show. We'll have our MVP interview, and we've got plenty of candidates to choose from, and we'll break it down all for you coming up here on the other side of the break.
Home and kitchen supply. We're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Yippee! Win myself titles, cut down nets with my fans. Back to the basket. And another thing. Well, looks like I'm not going to Hollywood after all.
Time now for our Bendon post-game show here, where the Falcons were victorious in dominating fashion tonight, 94-39 over Loudonville. And this was my book that I keep is just it's a mess because there's so many there's so many stats here for Hillsdale. There was no rust here as they got going here to start their season.
Yeah, spectacular job by Hillsdale, able to shrug off the fact that they start 2, maybe 3 weeks later than everybody else because of their state run. Oh, man, big issues over here at Hillsdale. They have to worry about state titles and stuff. Delaying their basketball season.
The humanity of it all.
Anyway, but Hillsdale, dominant win for them. Good job by the Falcons. 94, that's a lot of points. And they could have even gotten over 100. They started to get cold there towards the end of the game as some guys who didn't normally get into the game started to get some reps. But just feel like overall it was a flawless effort from Hillsdale. You'll see it here in these numbers.
Yeah, look away if you're a Redbirds fan. This was a tough night for them. We talked about it. It was somewhat competitive there in that first quarter, and it was like, okay, they've got it to 10. Okay, now they're down 20. Okay, now we've got a running clock. Okay, now they're down 50. Like, it just snowballed on them, and there was really no answer for it. That is a very talented Hillsdale team that they were going up against tonight. As you look at the final numbers there, I mean, the rebounds, the second chance points for Hillsdale were huge.
Yep.
And they were just able to make so many threes.
Yeah, and 6 of those threes, I believe, came from their freshmen. So that's someone that had a great game himself. And just Falcons, I don't think you can see anything in those numbers that suggest that there were any sort of struggle. And also the big number, of course, being 94-39. So not much to critique, not much to really note either, just because they simply made their shots and Loudonville didn't.
7 different players scored for Hillsdale, 4 of them finishing in double figures. One of those will be our MVP interview as we await his arrival, still with the team in the locker room. But looking forward to talking to Mr. Bradey Krichbaum on the other side of the break, which we will do here just in a few moments. Stick with us.
Kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
MVP interview, and it's Mr. Bradey Krichbaum tonight. Bradey, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
How difficult was this for you guys with the late run in the football season, obviously competing for a state title, and just having to quickly switch sports completely?
I mean, it was pretty intense for the first couple of days. I mean, we had practice 7 days a week, and but I mean, all of our guys want to come in here. They want to get better. They want to do what they can for the basketball team, and then. I mean, obviously that's putting us where we are, and we're ready to play. So.
How difficult was it, though, to get ready for tonight's game?
I mean, it was mostly a mental challenge, not really a physical, because like we're pretty in shape from football. But I mean, just mentally preparing from basketball to switching over, and then obviously the short time makes it a lot more difficult. We're having a lot more intense practices.
Sure. Well, it didn't look like you guys had any rust or any sort of lack of practice. You put up a dominating performance tonight, 94-39. You finished with a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds. What was working so well for you out there?
I mean, honestly, just playing with confidence. Like last year, I was more of a rebounder, not really a scorer, and this year I knew I had to step into my role as a scorer, and I just took it from there and got a lot more confidence shooting around the rim.
Well, speaking of confidence, you have a freshman on the team this year, Mr. Lowen Ferguson, who hit 6 3-pointers tonight. I mean, what is he like having him on this team?
I mean, he's a dog. He's full of energy. I mean, as soon as he's out here on the court, I mean, you know he wants to win, and as soon as he goes home from practice, he shoots at his house. I mean, it's just to see him out here is really motivational for the rest of us.
How fun is it to watch someone like that just get hot from beyond the arc like that?
I mean, obviously, since it's him, I mean, he's a little guy, so it's really fun to watch that, and then that kind of sparks the rest of our team, including the people coming off the bench, and they get hype and they start going crazy too.
Well, you guys looked impressive tonight. How are you guys feeling about this season? What are your goals, aspirations for the rest of the way?
I mean, obviously, last year was a pretty good year, but we're trying to build on that. We're trying to make it further in the playoffs, hopefully a regional championship, and then we'll just see from there.
All right, Bradey, thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Home and kitchen supply. We're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Our Bendon postgame show just now about to wrap up here for you from Hillsdale, where the Falcons were dominant tonight, a 94-39 victory over Loudonville. They start their season off 1-0. The Redbirds now fall to 1-4 on the season. Jonathan, any final thoughts?
I just think there's a lot to work on for both of these teams. I know that Hillsdale, it's easy to come in here and say that we just won by 50, 60 points. What do we need to improve on? Well, everything, because you're going to get a lot more competition thrown your way as this season goes on. It's always great to start against a team like Loudonville that has been on the slide as of late, but you got to know there's bigger opponents coming. And with the expansion to 7 divisions in basketball, Hillsdale found out during the football season there's a much smoother road to maybe a state tournament. They made it all the way to the state finals in football. Could they do it here in basketball? Maybe not that far, but there's still some uncharted territory in Hillsdale basketball history that they could reach. They just got to get better every single day.
They will not return home until the calendar flips to 2025 when they are here January 3rd against Chippewa. It is 3 straight road games starting at Waynedale on December 20th. Loudonville is back in action at home tomorrow night against Fredericktown. That is going to do it for us here from Hillsdale. For our camera operator, Oliver Kramer, and my partner, Jonathan Langdon, I'm Andy Jardy. Thank you for spending your evening with us here on the OH Report, and enjoy the rest of your week.